Hi, I'm First Alert Meteorologist Steve Rudin here in the 7 News Weather Center, and we are looking at a big winter weather maker that is on the way for the upcoming weekend, at least part of the upcoming weekend. This is our winter storm update, or the probability for winter storm warning. And notice that we are on the very high range for pretty much the entire 7 News viewing area. Let's widen this view out a little bit, and you can see just how expansive this storm is, stretching all the way through West Virginia into Kentucky, and then even more so over toward Oklahoma and Texas, where we could also be looking at ice storm issues. So traveling is likely going to become very difficult as early as Friday afternoon, the farther west you go, through the day on Saturday, and then for the mid-Atlantic, definitely on Sunday. But look at how big this is, around 2,000 miles, all the way from New Mexico to the East Coast. And that means over 200 million people could be impacted by this storm. The latest for you with our winter weather alerts, we have winter storm watches that stretch all the way from Texas through Oklahoma and Arkansas, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Notice how we don't have anything for the mid-Atlantic right now, but that's going to change. But all the areas you see shaded in blue right here will eventually be upgraded, more than likely to winter storm warning. So we'll see a lot of pink on this map moving into the day on Friday, more so into Saturday, and definitely into Sunday. So back into our area right here, notice we don't have anything. It's coming. A winter storm watch is definitely coming from our local forecasting office in Sterling, Virginia. Will likely happen during the day on Thursday, if not sooner than that. We'll see the entire area shaded in blue, and similar out to the west, it will get upgraded to a winter storm watch, or a winter storm warning, or a winter weather advisory. So what's the difference here? A winter storm watch, that's the potential for significant winter weather within 48 hours. We're talking about 5 inches or more of snow within 12 hours or 7 inches of snow or more within 24 hours. The winter storm warning means that the event is going to happen or is actually happening at the time. So this will most likely happen for us moving into the day on Saturday and then all day long on Sunday. Snow totals could be impressive. How do we get our forecast? How do we make our forecast? Well, right now we are in day 3 or 4. General details are now becoming into better focus here. So this is the time you need to prepare for the potential for that wintry weather that is on the way. Here are our latest snow trends for you, and depending on which forecast model you look at, some have a little bit more flexibility and some are more accurate than others. But this is the going bet right now. That notice how everything is very in agreement late Saturday into Sunday. So that means that most likely the first snowflakes are going to begin to fall moving into Saturday evening, Saturday night, and then during the day on Sunday. Now there's a little bit of a spread in terms of those snowfall totals, and you're likely to see this fluctuate over the next 48 hours. So don't get fixated on those snow total amounts and exact, because it's going to change more than likely moving through the day on Thursday, Friday, and then even into the day on Saturday. Here's our futurecast. This is the American model, and it shows a little bit less snow for some neighborhoods. As we move into 11 p.m. Saturday night, first flakes begin to fall across the DMV and then into southern Virginia, and then a wintry mix across North Carolina. Now, what's different with our forecast compared to what we saw around here on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're looking at the potential for some milder air mixing into southern Delmarva and then southern Maryland and then over into southeastern Virginia, and that could lessen the snow total amounts before all this lifts away by very early Monday morning. How much are we looking at? Well, this is the snowfall total, but just a potential here using the American model and hefty snow amounts. Now, do I think we're going to see upwards of a foot or 14 inches of snow? I don't think so for southern Maryland. We'll watch it closely. The same south and west of D.C. and then off toward the north and west, lesser amounts are likely, with anywhere between 8 to 12 inches, but still fairly impressive. But once again, this is just a forecast trend. Don't get so fixated on the numbers. I'm showing you these here because it gives us an idea of what we could, and need to stress could, expect. Now this is the European model, a little bit different, and it does show the wintry weather arriving late Saturday night, very similar to the other forecast trends, picking up very heavy snow during the day on Sunday. But notice that mix, southern Maryland, Delmarva, southern Delmarva, all rain. We'll see what happens there, and then all this lifts on out of here by Sunday evening, and it gets really cold outside. Here's the snowfall potential as we move into looking at the European model, looking over towards southern Maryland, 8 to 12 inches. Once again, this is just a trend. I do not believe, I need to stress, I do not believe that we are going to see 25 inches of snow south and west of D.C. But it's just what one forecast trend is showing right now. Equally impressive amounts off toward the north and west of us. And then as you head toward the metro area, depending on your location, a good 15 to 21 inches with the European model. Once again, not set in stone, just a forecast tool that we use to help us forecast the weather. So here's our forecast for ice, and we were talking about the milder air mixing into the system. This right here is the American model, the GFS. Notice how it could turn icy across southeastern Virginia, southern Delmarva, and extreme southern Maryland. Once again, just a forecast trend, not a guarantee. So what's our weekend snow probability? Well, on the low end, this is the very low end, 3 or 4 inches. I think that's almost a guarantee depending on where you're located, whether you're in the district or southern Maryland or western Maryland, Garrett, Allegheny counties, a slam dunk for at least 3 or 4 inches of snow. Most likely 6 to 12, and I know that's a very wide spread, but we have to see just how much milder air we can get worked into the system. That's at an 80%, and our jackpot zone of 12 inches or more. Remember we saw the European model, how it wanted to show 24 inches? Like I said, I don't believe that's going to happen, but it's a 50-50 chance at 13, 14 inches for some neighborhoods, not out of the question. So how about our last snow events across the DMV? Well, the biggest one that we have on record back in 1922, that's the Great Knickerbocker Storm. 28 inches of snow was measured. But the last time we had a really significant snowstorm around here was already 10 years ago, January 22nd and 23rd of 2016. Some of you may remember it. It was called Snowzilla, and we had 17.8 inches of snow measured at Reagan National Airport. That was a big, big storm. 1996, 30 years ago, when I first came here to Washington, 17.3 inches. Here's our 7-day outlook. We'll end with this. We're going to be beautiful for the day on Thursday. Highs around 50 to 55 degrees. Now on Friday, we're just around 45. That's behind a cold front that arrives late Thursday night. But there's a reinforcing cold front that will arrive late Friday night. That's going to be an Arctic cold front. Highs on Saturday only around 20 degrees. Wind chill factors throughout the day will be in the teens. We are on winter alert on Sunday for pockets of moderate to heavy snow, most likely drawing to a close by evening, if not a little bit later than that. And then it stays very cold around here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, with highs only in the 20s and lower 30s. As always, stay ahead of all of our weather makers. You can have your First Alert weather app on your phone very quickly. To upload it, all you need to do is head over to the App Store or Google Play. I'm meteorologist